Hey gang, Anthony Fontana here, coming at you live after 5 from our living room here on Long Island. And I just want to welcome anyone that's watching this to say hi. I appreciate you joining in and being a part of this. So tonight, it's Thanksgiving's upon us. The year is almost winding down very quickly, isn't it? And my goal is always going to be to give you the tools that you need to be a little bit stronger, a little bit more self-confident. So I have some notes here, 7 mental hacks for you to be more confident in yourself. As the holiday season comes up, you're going to be meeting people, you're going to be involved with people. Hi Renee, good evening doll, how are you? And you're going to want to have a skill set. And there's 7 things that you can do that can fix. If you're shy, there's 7 things you can do to improve that self-image. We've talked about this literally almost every week for the past 3 months. So it's an important topic because it's critical to your mindset that you're self-confident. Because without self-confidence, you will not succeed in any endeavor. No one's going to want to follow you, and you're not going to want to follow anybody else. How are you doing, buddy? Good to see you tonight. Okay, number 1. If you don't believe in yourself, how is anybody else going to believe in you? Hi, Penelope, how are you? Okay, number 1, I want you to push through self-limiting beliefs. We stop dreaming, when we get out of childhood. Children dream, they think about things that they can do. Who wants to be an astronaut? And they create a spacecraft for themselves. Who wants to be a truck driver? And they create a truck in a box from a refrigerator, discarded carton. They do things that we as adults forget how to do, because what happens as we get older, the adults in our life at that time start putting onto us their beliefs and their self-limiting ideas about ourselves. So as children, as we grow older, we start becoming more practical. We stop dreaming. We stop getting connected to who we are, which is unlimited beings. Hey Kirk, how are you? Hi honey, what's going on, sweetheart? Cheesecake's almost done, by the way. We stop dreaming. So they impose those beliefs on us. The problem that I have with that, and I've always had a problem with this, is I don't let anybody steal my dream. Nobody should be stealing yours. Push through those limiting beliefs. Start stretching yourself. Start doing little things that are a little bit outside your comfort zone. How do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. You don't want to go out there and tackle some major project and fail, and then you're back to square one with no confidence. So hey Scott, how are you, buddy? So the bottom line is going to be this. You want to absolutely set a little goal for yourself every day, starting from next week, starting from tomorrow. Something small. It could be work related, it could be business related, it could be relationship related, it could be personality related, however you want. Hey DJ Jazz, how are you? Hi Ivan, how are you? So changing your mindset is very, very simple. Do it in small increments. Have one small success. And when you have that one small success, you will want to project yourself out there to maybe something a little bit bigger. You'll develop self-confidence. Number 1, push through self-limiting beliefs. Number 2, never confuse memory with facts. It's not accurate. Your memory is not accurate. We basically take what we experience and we extract from that experience whatever we believe is important to ourselves. We actually run everything that we go through a prism, and we've talked about this, or a lens of our own paradigms and our own beliefs. That's why 2 different or 10 different witnesses to a crime all have a different idea of what happened, who the guy was, how tall he was, how short he was, how fat, how thin, what was he, did he have a gun, did he have a knife? The memories that they all have that they process. The reality is whatever happened, but what they process as reality is definitely different. We forget 80% of what we see the day after we see it. So relying on a memory 10, 15, 20 years old is ridiculous, because it's just not a fact. It could be somewhat accurate, but our experience is not. What we're re-experiencing is definitely not. Hi Stacy, how are you? Hey Wilson, how are you, brother? Congratulations on the new book. What's going on, Anthony? Happy Thanksgiving, my brother. How are you, my friend? So never do that. I want you to revisit facts of a memory loaded with failure images or self-limiting beliefs, and try to get a more accurate picture of actually what happened. Talk to people that were there. Get their perspective on what they think happened. And if you have any ideas from the past that seem to be limiting you, understand that they're probably fake. They're probably misrepresenting exactly what occurred. You may have absorbed the negative action, the negative idea, the negative concept, and that became part of your personality. But the reality is there's always positivity in every situation that happens in our life. So I want you to look for that positivity. I want you to, number 3, I want you to learn how to talk to yourself. This sounds kind of dumb to a lot of people. You know, we believe people that talk to themselves are nuts. Well, they're not. The people that talk to themselves internally, analyzing and conceptualizing different things that they need done, tend to be much more successful. What you say when you talk to yourself is probably one of the most important exercises you'll ever have in your entire life. It's something that I do on a regular basis. In fact, MJ might be sometimes walking by me in the hallway and she'll actually see me talking to myself. What I'm doing is I'm rehearsing or talking about to myself perhaps one of these live things that I do. Okay, I might be thinking about it before I do it. It might be something that I have to do before I appear before a group of people for a seminar or a webinar or a training session with realtors. I might have to go through in my mind what I plan on saying, and I do that in my mind live. I actually see myself doing it, and sometimes my lips start to move. So that's okay to do that. I'm not crazy, and you're not if you do it. Hey, Nicole, how are you, buddy? What's going on? Andrew, my man, what's happening? All right, so words matter, okay? I mean, that's number 3. You know, problems versus challenges is how you approach things. If everything that you have going on is a problem, it's going to remain a problem. But if everything you have is a challenge, let's think about that. The word challenge is a different way to talk to oneself. That means, and that implies that it's something that can be overcome. A problem can't be solved, but a challenge can be. You can find a solution to it. That's just number 3. Number 4, I want you to think positive. Positive information, positive thoughts are like Teflon, man. They just like slide right the hell off. They don't stick around. But it's amazing how negativity sticks to you like Velcro. It's just there, man. It just doesn't go away. It just latches on and it stays there. Negativity breeds negativity. It's actually a survival mechanism going back to many million years ago, whatever, when we were out there in the field and we were being chased by lions, tigers, and bears. We learned to react to anything which could have appeared to be negative as a defense mode, as a defense mechanism. So we hold to that paradigm instinct today. Things that happen to us that we believe are negative create negative imagery in our minds. So thinking positive is key. Come up with 5, I want you to do this. I want you to come up with 5 positive thoughts for every negative thought you have. Whatever negative thought comes through your mind this week, come up with 5 more. And every time you come up with those 5 for that negative thought, I want you to dwell on the positive thought for 21 seconds. Count. 21 seconds. Positive thought, 21 seconds. It'll become a better and more powerful paradigm and will start to wash away that negative paradigm. 5 thoughts versus 1, 5 to 1. It's going to win, right? So I want you to do that. And I want you to acknowledge anything that bad that happens to you. It's happened, okay? It's okay to acknowledge it. It's not okay to own it. It's not okay to accept it as your reality. It's okay to think about it, analyze it, and find something that's good from it, and then move on, okay? Just think positive. It doesn't hurt to think positive. It's easier to think negative, more complex to think positive, but positive is better than negative, isn't it? Number 5, I want you to be curious. Remain teachable like a kid's teachable. Curiosity doesn't kill the cat. It might if the cat's wandering around in a bad area, bad neighborhood, but it does not kill you. A curiosity to life opens up doors. I was talking to my daughter earlier today, and we were talking about things like this. When things come in front of you, if you're open to opportunity, if you're open to new things, if you're curious about something happening, there might be something good in there for you. Very, very important. Hey, Jamie, how are you, buddy? So that's important. It's actually being like a child and being curious about everything, being curious about how things work. I mean, when I was a kid, I drove my mother nuts. I took apart everything. If it was a toaster, I took it apart, and I tried to put it back together again. Not always successfully. One of those old transistor radios, I took it apart. I wanted to know how it worked. I took the transistors out and cut them in half to know what they looked like inside. I've always had a curiosity, and I'll continue to do that as I hit, my next 2 or 3 decades. I'm going to always be curious. So I want you to be curious. Number 6. Wow, this is a simple one. I want you to overcome self-doubt. I want you to know something about yourself. You're awesome exactly the way you are right now. You are perfect in every way you are. That's right, Renee. Childlike Faith. Children have faith in things. That's the way they are. They're not cookie cutters. They experience stuff, and it's until we get in the middle of it as adults that we start giving them all of our own nonsense, and we start limiting their beliefs. They stop dreaming, and they become little robots, going along, going to school, getting good grades, taking classes, taking tests, and graduating, and on and on and on and on, and they miss out on 2 decades worth of life because they do that. It's ridiculous, and it's not something that I want you to do if you're in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, and 60s, and I certainly don't want you to teach that to your kids. So I want you to overcome self-doubt, know that you're awesome. There's really not much more to say about that one. Anything that limits you, anything that you think is like, I can't do it, I want you to eliminate the stupid words. Can't, won't, couldn't. Those are all words that just don't work. Because you can, you will, and you must. You have to understand that. Number 7, I want you to face your fears. Yesterday, when I was in my car, I did a quick video on how neuro-linguistic programming, which has been around since 1978, is the science behind how the mind processes things. The majority of us process things visually in our brains. We see things happening. You might be auditory, you might be kinesthetic, but the majority of us are always visualizing. Pink elephant. What are you seeing right now? You're seeing a pink elephant. It's automatic. This is the way the brain works. So, hey, Michael, how are you? Hi, Maria, how are you? So, neuro-linguistic programming can teach you how to change your thoughts. When you have a fear, something that you really fear, you can actually take that fear and push it back in your mind like a movie screen moving further and further away. It's like sitting in the back of the theater versus sitting in the front of the theater. When you're close to the action, you're kind of more involved with it. But when you're all the way in the back, you're not really paying attention. Things are going on around you, and you're somewhat distracted. Well, that's the way fears work. When you have something that you're afraid of, more likely than not, it's the result of something that actually hasn't happened, but you have a false expectation of something that might appear to be real. Therefore, you're dwelling on it. You could have been bitten by a spider. Now you're afraid of spiders. But the odds are you're not going to get bitten again. So you're careful. You see a spider, you don't have to be afraid of it. Just kill the damn thing or pick it up and throw it outside. You don't have to be afraid of it. You can understand that there might be an issue, but you can also go against the thought that says, it's the end of the world. It's not. A false expectation of appearing real is how a lot of people live their life, with fear. You can fear something or you can face something. It's your decision. And you can use neuro-linguistic programming to take a thought and switch it to a positive image, pull that positive image towards you, strengthen it with the positive and exciting memories and joyful memories that are associated with that positive thought, and take the negative thought and replace it and flip it so that the positive emotions replace the negative emotions of the fear. It's the way the mind works. It's a very easy technique. I suggest you do a little bit of research on neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, and just research it. NLP, image switching technology. You'll find it in the heartbeat on Google, and you can read about this stuff. It actually works. Hi, Rick. How are you? Hey, Jerry. How are you? Bottom line is this. These 7 things are very, very simple. And if you use them, listen to this video again if you have to, or jot them down and use them. Research it a little bit. I know it works because it works for me, and it works for anyone that I teach this to. So take advantage of it. Hi, Chris. How are you, buddy? I know it works. I know for a fact that it works. So if you get anything out of these videos, I'd love to see you comment on it. I'd love to see you share them. I know a lot of people watch these after they get posted. You might see it as a live. You might click on it. It's alive, and you're moving on to other things. Watch this video. Come back and watch it fully. It's only 7 or 8 or 9 minutes. It's definitely worth your time. I love you guys. I'm going to get back to my cheesecake, which is coming out of the oven in about a minute or 2, and we're looking forward to Thanksgiving tomorrow. And MJ and I will be coming at you live tomorrow afternoon just to say hi. We love you guys. Have a wonderful night.